interconference battle. The Dallas Cowboys 2-1 against the Denver Broncos 3-0. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Joe Buck. That's Troy Aikman. Pam Oliver is coming right up. Troy, I'll get right into it and talk about Denver. 3-0, new head coach, defense playing great, yet nobody really knows how good they are yet.
Yeah, and I think most of those questions, Joe, are on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, you know, they pretty much know what they have. And a year ago, they were the #2 ranked offense in the National Football League. Now, a little different trigger man this year from what they had a year ago, but Kyle Orton's been very good here through the first 3 weeks. I know in visiting with him earlier, he's pretty excited about what he thinks they're going to be able to do in the passing game today.
We always talk quarterbacks, and for the Dallas Cowboys, that's Tony Romo coming off that win on Monday night against Carolina. No interceptions, no touchdowns. Is he now changing the way he looks at the world and changing his style at quarterback at this point in his life?
Well, he says he has, and he understands now how important it is to protect the football, but I think he's been able to do that because they've run the ball so well. Now, they're the #1 rushing team in the National Football League. Today, they're doing it without their big runner in Felix Jones, the playmaker. They've got Marion Barber coming off a quad injury. How long will he last? They're going to be heavily relied on Tashard Choice, you know, their second-year player. Tony Romo may have to throw it a little bit more than what he has here in recent weeks.
For more on the Cowboys, down to the field, and Pam Oliver.
Here with Brady James. And Brady, their offense doesn't really get a whole lot of respect. Where do you think the advantages are for the Cowboys defense today?
Well, we just have to play well, play hard, hit fast, and just play for 60 minutes. They run the ball. They've been very successful. They're 3-0, so they hadn't been doing anything trying to reinvent the wheel. They just been wanting to just go out there and make plays.
Now, just the Cowboys seem to be running hot and cold. In your mind, what does this team need to do to sort of start clicking on all cylinders?
Well, we just got to start fast. And if anything adverse come up, we just got to overcome it and just try to win the game.
Thanks. Appreciate your time.
All right. No problem.
Nice of Brady James to stop by with Pam, and we thank them for that visit down on the field. Now the sun pops out. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Denver. As we said, 56 degrees. As the NFL across the league and for the entire month is honoring breast cancer awareness. We'll talk about today. Miles Austin is waiting deep, and here we go. Gonna take it out. And the knee went down. They'll mark him at the 20. Darrell Reed on the stop and a 25-yard return. Take a look at the offense. It's Joe, Troy, and Pam as we welcome in a new audience. We'll be doing that here in the early part of this first quarter. And there is Marion Barber. As you said, Troy, a lot of Tashard Choice, and their home run hitter, Felix Jones, is out with the bad knee.
Yeah, they certainly lose something without Felix Jones. And Marion Barber, I know the approach for the Cowboys coming into this game is they're gonna give him the ball and treat it as though he is completely healthy and ready to go.
A loud crowd at the start, and there is Barber, picks up a couple. Kenny Peterson on the stop. Peterson is up front in this 3-4, and a defense that is directed by Mike Nolan, 4 years the head coach with the San Francisco 49ers. You took a look at the linebackers and then the secondary. The name you know is Champ Bailey back there. On second down, more for Barber. Not much. Andre Davis made the play. If you are just joining us, opening possession of the game, Troy and the Cowboys have run it twice with Marion Barber.
Not surprising. You know, Dallas has got a big physical offensive line. They feel that they outmatch in size the Denver Broncos, but I got to tell you, they've sure held their own here on the first 2 plays.
Third down and 5. Romo gets drilled as he threw it incomplete, and a penalty flag comes sailing in from the secondary. Robert Ayers, their first-round pick, made the play, but this is a hold against Denver.
Holding, number 20, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That is the Veteran Brian Dawkins guilty of the hold.
Yeah, that flag came out right away as well, so I didn't see the hold. But Brian Dawkins was the one who was flagged. You know, Robert Ayers, you talk about him, he just went right by the left tackle, Flozell Adams.
With the automatic first down for the Cowboys at their own 29. Romo, Barber out of the backfield. Dumerville out there. Good play for Denver. A gain of only 1.
I tell you, for this early in the ball game, that's a real momentum shift right there. You know, the defense comes out, goes toe-to-toe with Dallas with that big offensive line in the running game, forces a 3-and-out, but because of a penalty, the Cowboys maintain possession.
Barber again. He's been busy. I guess the quad feels good. And Marion Barber gets enough, it would appear, for a first down. And they inch it a little more forward. And it is a first down for Dallas.
Well, I tell you what, he picks up the first down, but that looked like it was a lot of effort by Marion Barber. I mean, he just does not right there. I mean, you can see that he's laboring as he gets around the end and picks up those yards. And you know, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to go.
Well, he checks right out. Not getting any attention on the sideline. He already touched the ball 4 times. And before the snap, a timeout taken by Denver. They were confused defensively, so they take a timeout. First down, Dallas, opening possession of this game. Cowboys and Broncos.
Well, you go back to that last penalty, and here's you're going to see Brian Dawkins. They called the wrong number. It was actually Wesley Woodyard who was called for the holding on Jason Witten. Same result. It would have been the first down. It was a penalty, but it was not on Brian Dawkins, as Walt Anderson said.
They fake the handoff to Choice, hit Hurd. And Sam Hurd is brought down after a gain of 4 by Woodyard.
We talked coming in about what the Denver defense has done through the first 3 weeks. I mean, they've been amazing. And there is some skepticism as to how good is this defense really. I think a lot of it is because they look back to last year. I mean, this is a defense that clearly struggled in every facet of their game, but there's a lot of new players, 5 new starters on the defensive side of the ball. Mike Nolan even acknowledged he's interested in seeing today just how good this defense really is.
Here's Choice. They look pretty good so far. Dawkins was in there. Kenny Peterson a loss of 3.
And this has been awfully impressive because Dallas really has not had much success here in the early going running the football. And as I alluded to, this is a massive offensive line. And this is an undersized defensive front for the Denver Broncos. They're going to move people around, but early on, they're doing a great job of shutting down this league's #1 running attack.
Romo steps up, and he's brought down from behind. Elvis Dumerville, sack number 7.
Elvis Dumerville in passing situations, he puts his hand on the ground and he's going there against Flozell Adams. A nice move. He gets him going up top. He recognizes that Romo is starting to scramble. Rather than feeling that he can beat Flozell Adams all the way around the corner, he comes underneath him and makes a nice play.
And Flozell Adams has had a couple of good weeks against Osi Umenyiora of the Giants. Shut him out. Shut down Julius Peppers. Struggling with Dumerville here on the first possession. This is Eddie Royal with a fair catch. And a penalty flag is down back at the 44 of the Cowboys. Bruton got in there and almost got a hand on that punt.
During the kick, holding number 22 of the receiving team. That'll be half the distance to the goal from the end of the first down. Timeout.
That's Peyton Hillis, and we'll see Kyle Orton against Wade Phillips' defense when we come back. Near the line of scrimmage, and the Denver defense trying to substitute along with that offensive group. Here is the first play, and it's Buckhalter out of the backfield on a catch throw by Kyle Orton, who's been fantastic, and he has not thrown an interception. He's got a very good running attack around him, and when he's needed to put the ball up, he's got a good group on the outside.
Well, he sure does, and he's also got a good group up front. You know, this offensive line returns intact, although left guard Ben Hamilton, their normal starter, is not playing today.
That'll be a false start. So the 5 yards they just picked up.
12 start, number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
That's Ryan Harris, one of those two good young tackles on this offensive line for the Denver Broncos. And here's the 3-4 for the Dallas Cowboys. Terrence Newman is coming off a good game against Steve Smith and the Carolina Panthers.
Well, the defense struggled through the first 2 games of the season. Came back last Monday night against the Carolina Panthers and had a much better outing.
Orton steps into it and throws high for Brandon Marshall. 3rd down and 10. I know, Troy, you came away from the Broncos practice on Friday really impressed with the way Kyle Orton threw the ball.
Well, I tell you, I really was impressed, and I was also impressed with the way that Brandon Marshall practiced. And you know, but Kyle Orton threw the ball about as well as I've ever seen a quarterback at a Friday practice throw it. I mean, he was on target, had great velocity. In fact, he said that this year, right now, it's the best his arm has ever felt.
3rd down and 10 over the middle, and the pass broken up. Newman, no flag. Eddie Royal, the intended receiver, and he is shocked that no flag was thrown.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty close. You're going to see Newman, and then Eddie Royal runs the curl, and Newman, you know, did he get there before the ball did? It was awfully close. Royal looking for the flag, but didn't get it.
Cowboys should end up winning on this exchange of field position, as Patrick Creighton, who had a good week returning punts last week against the Panthers, waits for this one from Brett Kern. Hits a wobbly punt off the side of his foot that stays in bounds. An ugly punt, but a very effective punt out of bounds at the Dallas 31. Take a break, come back. 62-yard punt by Kern. Cowboys have it, no score. Right to the early game headliners. Jay Cutler, former Bronco, had a nice day. Wait till you see the highlight, if you haven't already, of his rushing touchdown. Bears at 3-1. Peyton Manning red hot again after a 4-touchdown game against Arizona, and a terrific start for Eli Manning and the Giants. Manning left with a minor heel injury. Doesn't appear to be serious. What is serious is the start for the Giants. They're 4-0 as they took apart Kansas City. Cowboys will be in Kansas City next Sunday. They fake it to Barber. Penalty flag on the play. Romo trying to make something happen, and he throws it away. But flags are down.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Troy, you've talked a couple of times about how big this offensive line is for the Cowboys. 3rd heaviest in the NFL, and they've got their hands full today.
Well, they sure do. That's Leonard Davis, 2-time Pro Bowler, with an inside move, and he just gets a little bit lazy with his feet and then reaches and grabs. You know, they're trying to run a double move. That time Dallas went with the 2 tight end package, which is typically a running personnel package. They thought they would be able to get Denver, which they did, an 8-man front, run the play action, get a deep ball, but Champ Bailey did not bite. on Patrick Creighton.
Shouldn't we be on the 19?
And before the Cowboys can get up to the line, the officials come in and stop the action. They're having trouble figuring out where the ball should be. Meanwhile, you see number 80 for the Dallas Cowboys, Martellus Bennett, who was supposed to be this big weapon, had a great camp, lit it up. He's done virtually nothing. 3 catches, 27 yards.
Well, he hasn't done as much as what you would have thought based on the way he played in preseason.
First down and 20. Romo sets up a screen for Barber. Blocking out in front of him. Big play. Dallas still going. Up to the 47. A catch and run of 27 yards for Marion Barber.
Well, that was set up very well by the Dallas Cowboys, and when they come back, it's all about timing. You want to time up your tailback with the offensive linemen that are going to come out and lead block for them, and you're going to see as Marion Barber gets this, look at the blockers that are out in front of him, and virtually no defenders until he gets a good 10 yards down the field. And, you know, Marion Barber, you can see it. He's still playing, obviously, but he looks like he's having a tough time with that quad.
One of the guys blocking for him was Roy Williams, who's done more blocking than catching so far for this Dallas offense. How about Choice? What a run. Gets 11. Goodman on the stop for Denver.
You know, one of the things that this Denver Bronco defense worked on this week was tackling. And they knew coming into this ball game that the Cowboys running backs do a great job of breaking tackles. And they worked on tackling for the first time really since training camp this week. That wasn't very good there.
There's Mike Nolan with the glasses, first-year defensive coordinator here in Denver. Handoff to Choice, he gets 7. 12th year as a defensive coordinator around the NFL for Mike Nolan. Defensive coordinator 7 times of a top 10 defense. And he has really revitalized this group that has not allowed a touchdown in the last 2 games. Here against Cleveland and at Oakland. 2nd and 3. Little sprint out to the right, and the pass is caught by Choice. And he is out of bounds right at the marker.
It's a sharp choice. Not a lot of people know much about him, but he came in last year as a rookie out of necessity because of injury to Marion Barber and Felix Jones, and started 3 of the last 4 games last year. In fact, his first NFL start was at Pittsburgh against the Steelers, and considering how good they are stopping the run, he actually had a pretty good night. But he's a much more talented runner than what he gets credit for. The only thing he really lacks is big-time speed to break off a run 40-50 yards.
Here's Barber out of the I formation, spins, picks up 4. Andre Davis on the stop for the Broncos. 2nd down and 6. Yeah, we were there that day when Tashard Choice made that start at the Steelers. 23 carries, 88 yards, 166 total yards, and it was like, wait a minute. Heard so much about Felix Jones and Barber. They stole a guy in the 4th round out of Georgia Tech in Tashard Choice. Romo throws, and that ball may have been tipped. It came out funny in the direction of Patrick Creighton. It's 3rd and 6.
You talk about Tashard Choice and the find that they got, in him last year in the 4th round, and I agree, a guy who originally, went to the University of Oklahoma for 2 years, and then there was a guy there by the name of Adrian Peterson, and he realized real quick he wasn't going to get much playing time there, so he transferred to Georgia Tech. Led the ACC in rushing his senior year. A smart guy, a good blocker, good hands. He's just an all-around good player.
Confusion defensively for the Broncos. And confusion offensively for Dallas. Choice lost 3. Penalty flag on the play, and Vonnie Holliday was in there with Ayers. It's against Dallas.
Hold number 65, offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
So 4th down, Andre Girard guilty of a hold and a 49-yard field goal try coming from Nick Folk. Drive started out well for Dallas and then fizzled. In Folk's career, 17 of 19 from this distance. He missed from 40 last week at home against Carolina. And Folk is good. A lot of Cowboy fans out here in Denver, where Wade Phillips used to be the head coach. They celebrate the first points of the game. Wade Phillips celebrates the first points of the game. His Cowboys up 3. Past years covering the league championship series and the World Series as passes too far for Gaffney. Gaffney was open and Orton missed him.
Sure was. They did nice play action in the backfield. They got Daniel Graham coming down, making it look like run with a wham block, and off of that, then you've got Jabbar Gaffney one-on-one. You're going to see Terrence Newman give outside release, which opens up the middle of the field for Gaffney, and you know, Orton just missed him. That's something that he really has not done through the first 3 weeks. He's normally connected on those.
Here's the first run of the day, and it is the rookie Moreno who takes it out to the 35. Game break time. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, you may have seen this before. Jets and Saints, and Mark Sanchez picked off by Darren Sharper. Sharper takes it 98 yards for the score. 10th time in his career he's had a pick 6, just short of the NFL record by 2 set by Rod Woodson. 7-0 right now. Joe and Troy and Pam.
All right, Kurt, thank you. He is unbelievable with his knack for finding the football.
Yeah, he's always had a knack for being around the ball, and you know, at that age, the old man can still run too.
False start.
False start. Number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
That's Ryan Harris.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time on Ryan Harris with a false start.
It's a 4th Bronco penalty of this first quarter.
Yeah, Andre Ware, when, you know, of course, Andre Ware, DeMarcus Ware, the leading rusher from a year ago, when he lines up over you, you have a tendency to want to get out of there just as quickly as possible, and that's had as much to do with these false starts as anything.
It's 3rd down and 10. Orton steps up and almost is intercepted. Sensabaugh came through and almost came away with his first pick as a Cowboy.
You see Kyle Orton, and I'm not sure what happened there, but a miscommunication with him and Jabbar Gaffney, and they're fortunate they didn't give Dallas a short field after that play.
Josh McDaniels is hot over on the sideline. Kern hits it, knows the football is down, and Creighton on the return. Penalty flag is down back near the line of scrimmage as Barrett made the stop. An 8-yard return.
Before the kick, holding number 57 of the offense. That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run. It'll be 1st down Dallas. Timeout.
That's Hagan, guilty of a hold. It's been a lot of penalties for the Broncos here at home in the first quarter. 43rd career start for Tony Romo, coming off a game in which he did not throw an interception or a touchdown. First time that's happened in his career.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Joe, that Tony Romo was very proud of the way that he handled that game last week and not forcing some throws that maybe in some other weeks he might have.
Blitz from the Broncos out of the backfield. It's Choice. Kosher was out there helping to block, and Tashard Choice, with more poor tackling from the Broncos, is to the 35, the 34, and a 28-yard catch and run.
Well, it sure didn't look at the time that Tashard Choice gets this ball that he's going to be able to pick up the kind of yards that he was able to. You see there, you got a blocker out in front of him, and Elvis Dumerville was the guy who had a chance to try to make that play, but Tashard Choice showed great patience in letting the blocker get out in front, set it up, and then come underneath that block.
This high altitude, he is breathing heavy back there at the 40. They give it to him again. This time they hand it to him, and Choice picks up a yard and a half.
Those defenses we saw came out to start this game and did a nice job, had the penalty which extended that drive, but the offense for Denver just really hasn't done anything when they've gotten the ball, and this defense here in the first quarter has been on the field a long time.
Barber is at the bottom of your screen, almost out of the screen. Quick throw, and there is Bennett. And Martellus Bennett takes it to the 20, the second-year player out of Texas A&M.
Martellus Bennett, who is a basketball player in college as well. And as you said earlier, Joe, he's got some pretty unique skills. He's a big athletic guy, and they're able to split him out as they did there. They're also able to use him as a blocker on the end of the line, where he's a very effective guy.
Now inside the red zone are the Cowboys, and Barber picks up 3. Well, we talked about it during the preseason, Troy, that you lose T.O. and you let him go. You end up in a position where you need to make up some of that playmaking, and it seemed like it would be Martellus Bennett and then Felix Jones, the combination of those two, picking up the slack.
And we've seen what Felix Jones has been able to do through the first 3 ball games. Problem with him is he's just not been able to stay healthy. And so they haven't been able to rely on him as much as what they would like. A little different look to this offense from what we've seen under Jason Garrett.
Here's one that gets away from Romo. In the direction of Patrick Creighton. It's third down.
And this is an area where this Broncos defense has been outstanding. When you give up as few points as what they have, then you've got to be good down here in the red zone. And not only have they kept people from being able to score and having to settle for field goals, but they've also been able to create a couple of turnovers down here through the first 3 games of the year.
3rd and 7. Romo. Roy Williams. What a catch. Able to get both feet down in front of Champ Bailey, and 13 yards for a first down.
Well, Dallas has not shied away from throwing against Champ Bailey. Pretty good cushion there on Roy Williams. Champ Bailey, surprisingly, the area where Roy Williams has struggled at times is versus press coverage. But Champ Bailey played him soft and let him run a comeback, and really pretty easy pitch and catch there.
A little tougher on the catch part, and Roy Williams did well. Here's Barber down to the 1. Last week, Jason Garrett was criticized, the play caller for the Cowboys, in this situation. Instead of trying to pound it in with the running game working against Carolina, they tried to fade it twice, and Garrett heard plenty about that.
Boy, he sure did, and that's why right now, 2nd and goal from here, they're going to run the football, I'll promise you. As much as coaches want to say media and scrutiny doesn't affect them, it does. I'd be shocked if they throw the ball.
Here's Barber fighting his way and pushing in for the touchdown.
Well, they do a good job. Denver does right there at contact, but Marion Barber shows the strength that he has, and then the offensive line gets in behind him, and he just kept his legs going, and with some help from the big guys behind him, was able to get across the goal line.
Are you starting to become convinced that his quad's okay?
Well, on those short bursts like that, yeah, but if he's got to open it up.
It's 10-0. If he's anything, Marion Barber is a finisher. And he just would not go down, and pounding it in. And it's a 10-0 lead on the road here for the Dallas Cowboys. We came on the air, Troy, talking about Denver, and yeah, they're 3-0. They've taking on teams with a combined record of 3-6 here after 3 weeks of the year. Meanwhile, the jury has been out on the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't know if anybody knows how good they are. And it's been a pretty good start here on the road at Denver for them today.
Well, it has, and that was a nice drive for them. And then defensively, they've done a good job against a good, offensive team there in Denver. But now it's what is Denver going to do offensively? 2 possessions, haven't done anything. Their defense has been on the field. Of course, if the defense wants off, then they've got to be able to stop them, which they've not done. But I think this is a real important drive for this Denver offense in just being able to give their defense a little bit of a blow.
I'd be surprised if we don't see a little bit more out of the running game from the Denver Broncos on this 3rd possession. Under a minute to go, opening quarter in Denver. Beeler hits it, hits this one better, and McKinley will take a knee. Take a look ahead to next week. And it brings up a bigger point about the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, on Fox, these Dallas Cowboys will be at Kansas City. Vikings and Rams. Good game in the later time slot. It's not a doubleheader day. The Falcons and the 49ers. And when you think about Denver and the way they've started, this is the first of 8 consecutive games against teams that finished 500 or better last year. And these next 5 are not easy at all. Penalty flag comes in as Buchalter carries it for 5. And we'll get the call from Walt Anderson. But it is no easy trail over the next handful of weeks for the Broncos.
Holding number 90, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
That is the defensive hold by defensive lineman Jay Ratliff.
Yeah, Jay Ratliff, coming off of his first Pro Bowl last year, has really emerged. Probably one of the top 3 nose tackles in all of football. And even Kyle Orton talked about Jay Ratliff in visiting with him. And I can tell you, when the quarterback starts talking about the nose tackle, he's got his attention. I don't know if I ever knew who the nose tackle was that I played against.
That's the first down of the game for Denver. Here's Gaffney. Jenkins on the stop. A gain of 8. So it will be 2nd down and 2, and we open up the 2nd quarter here in Denver. We are finished with 1. Dallas up 10-0. The NFL on Fox will continue after a word from your local Fox station as we take another look at Marion Barber pounding it in for Denver. Down 10 at home. Handoff is to Buchalter, who picks up 3 and a first down. Brady James made the tackle for Dallas.
In talking with Josh McDaniels as far as what they're doing offensively here in the early going of the 09 season, and it's a work in progress. He's still getting a feel for what these players can do, even though he spent a lot of time with them in the offseason, training camp, preseason. You're never quite sure what a guy's going to be able to do until you get into the regular season, and so he's figuring that out and trying to put him in the position to have success.
Down the middle of the field, that's Marshall, and it's batted away by Jenkins. What a play. May have saved a touchdown.
That's the 2nd time now we've seen Denver try to take a shot down the field. It looked like if he might have been able to lead him more into the middle of the field, Marshall would have had a chance to go get that ball. But a heck of a play, there by Mike Jenkins in knocking it down.
Jenkins has taken over now the right cornerback spot for Dallas, and Skandrick, more the nickelback, playing the slot receiver. Made a good play. Toss to Buchalter. Makes it 3rd down and 4 as he picks up 6.
I tell you, Correll Buchalter is the guy who has really surprised me. Of course, very familiar with him during his time there with Philadelphia. He was a backup predominantly. He came here expecting to be the featured guy, and of course then they drafted Knowshon Moreno. But Correll Buchalter through the first 3 games has been the big play guy for him, at the tailback position. In fact, Josh McDaniels said he's the fastest guy on their team. which is pretty impressive.
Third down and 4. A blitz coming, and Dallas gets home. 3 players converge, and it's Stephen Bowen who comes up with the sack. That's his first of the year.
Quite a surge there up front. They run the twist, and they're just not able to. Chris Cooper, because of the twist at the right guard position, he had 2 guys, had to pick one. It allowed the other, Bowen, to come untouched for the sack.
Already the 3rd punt for Brett Kern, who angles it toward the sideline and catching it over his shoulder and making it look easy is Creighton. Good punt, 53 yards. Good angle. Cowboys have it again, leading by 10. Plenty of protection for Romo, who fires to Creighton, and Creighton slams the ball down right at the marker.
I got to tell you, Joe, I'm a little surprised at Champ Bailey and even Andre Goodwin on the other side that they're playing as soft as what they are against these Dallas wide receivers. You know, when they lost Terrell Owens, they really lost some explosiveness on the outside, and neither one of these guys are overly fast, and you'd think that they would challenge them a little bit.
Here is a handoff for a first down to Tashard Choice. Meanwhile, Tony Romo has started this game 8 for 10 for 98 yards, and he has yet to throw the ball in the direction of Jason Witten. Now with the spot of the football, I'm going to call the chains out. Looks to be enough for a first down, but we will make sure. And there's the start offensively. Barber, 27 receiving yards. Tashard Choice doing his usual good work. Starting to expect it from Choice.
Yeah, of course, last week everybody applauding as they're just short of the first down. Everybody applauding Tony Romo on the job that he did and not turning the ball over, and then they acted like all he did was kind of hand it off and wasn't really all that involved in the production offensively, yet they had over 400 yards of offense, and he completed 66% of his passes for 250 yards, and you know, by any quarterback standards, that was a pretty good night.
So it's 3rd and about 2 inches. And it's Barber who gets it. Didn't initially, but after being stopped cold a little bit behind the line of scrimmage, bounced it around the edge and picked up 4.
And that's the greatness of Marion Barber. I mean, we've seen it already in this game, and if you watch the Cowboys, you see it each and every week. I mean, this guy is hard to bring down, and you know, he'll get stood up at the line on initial contact. He was short of the first down, but he just keeps playing, and he is awfully tough.
Play action. Romo with all day. Throws incomplete for Roy Williams. Champ Bailey with a coverage.
You know, Tony Romo had plenty of time in the pocket, and it looked like he was trying to go here to Patrick Creighton, but Patrick wasn't really running too hard. Of course, he had 2 defenders, and he probably thought that there was no way then that Romo would throw it in his direction, so he came back late. You know, then to Roy Williams, and just not much of a chance.
9 catches so far in the season for Roy Williams. Had 5 last week at home against Carolina. Handoff to Choice, nothing. Picked up a yard and a half. A penalty flag comes in. We have a game break waiting, but we'll get the call.
Tripping, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
There's been a lot of that around this offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
And more trouble for the Jets against the Saints. Mark Sanchez this time sacked by Will Smith and stripped in the end zone. Ball comes out. Remy Adell, the former Cowboy, falls on it. It's 17-0 Saints defense with both touchdowns against the Jets. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
You know, Matthew Stafford got his taste there in New Orleans as a rookie. I had mine back in '89, and today it's Mark Sanchez's turn.
2nd and 20. Here's Austin. They're going to give Austin forward progress to the 21. Dawkins on the stop. 6-yard completion. We had the tripping against Gerard. Flozell Adams has been fined $25,000 this year for kicking, little leg whipping in there, tripping, stuff that'll get you a timeout when you're on the school playground. But in the NFL, it costs you $25,000. Made it 2nd and 20, and now it's 3rd and 14 after the completion to Austin. Blitz coming, and Romo has it knocked away. Picked up by Denver. Fumble recovered by DJ Williams after Hill knocked it away.
Ronaldo Hill comes to Tony Romo's backside. You're going to see him here. Tony never feels it, never sees it. An unblocked blitzer, and feeling that he had time in the pocket, was holding it, trying to go out to his front side. And anytime you got a free blitzer coming in like that, these guys are awfully good at immediately going for the arm to knock the ball out. Right there, right through the ball. And that's what this defense really has been about here through the first 3.5 ball games.
9th takeaway for that Denver defense. And after not turning it over against Carolina, Romo coughs it up. And the Broncos take over at the Dallas 9. Orton almost picked off, and in the end gets a touchdown. Moreno.
I'm not sure how that ball got in there, Joe.
Me either.
I think Josh McDaniels is asking the same question. It was a late throw. You're going to see the route there. Knowshon Moreno running a halfback option route, and it wasn't open. I mean, that ball should have been intercepted without any problem whatsoever. Anthony Spencer in great coverage, just doesn't make the play.
It almost looked like it went through, right through Spencer's hands.
Looked like it went through his stomach.
So Spencer is out in front of it. Moreno behind Spencer. The catch, the touchdown. It's a 10-7 game.
Touchdown. And I don't know, Knowshon Moreno had no chance but to, or no choice but to catch the ball. Hit him right in the gut.
Here's Barber, right side. Lowers his shoulder into the chest of DJ Williams. Picks up 6. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, after Dallas scored its touchdown, Brian Dawkins had had enough. He gave the defense a major pep talk that apparently worked. He emphasized to that unit that it's time to relax and that they're all over the place. He encouraged everyone to just play football and not be so sloppy. Back to you.
All right, Pam, 13 years with the Eagles. Brian Dawkins playing in his 25th game against Dallas. Here is Roy Williams, makes the catch and has a first down for the Cowboys.
Well, I'm not surprised that that came from Brian Dawkins. You know, we always knew about him being a leader. Everybody talked about it there in Philadelphia. And, you know, coming to Denver, you're always worried about, okay, well, how's a new guy, even though he's been in the league a long time, how's he going to be accepted, you know, on the new team? But, boy, he jumped right in there. Mike Nolan said the 3 best leaders he's ever been around: Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis, and Brian Dawkins.
And Dawkins is lined up across from Jason Witten. Those two have banged heads for years. Hand off to Barber, bides his time and takes it up to the Dallas 49. Picks up 6, and he is looking like he is healthy. Last week he was held out of the game. He had a strained left quad, so he sat out. He said he was pretty much a game time decision, and he looks like he's perfectly fine today.
Well, he didn't early, but with each carry, he's looking healthier and healthier. And, yeah, I'm ready to tell you, Joe, that he looks good.
There it is. 12 touches so far for Barber. He's been busy. And a broken play. Looked like that was supposed to be the 13th touch for Barber, and he and Romo not on the same page.
Well, this is something that Tony Romo has started to do. He really wants to sell like it's going to be pass and then run the draw off of that, but he wasn't able to get it to Marion Barber. He also went over after this play and spoke to Patrick Creighton. Looked like maybe he actually was going to throw the ball there. Creighton wasn't ready for it, and by that time, Marion Barber wasn't expecting it either.
It's 3rd and 5.
You know, they have that run pass option to where they'll call a running play, but the quarterback has the ability to just pull it up and throw it if it's open.
Just get the play away. Now a late flag comes in as Choice picks up the 1st down, but they're going to call delay a game, but the flag came in late.
There was no play before the snap. Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It was a delay of game, and it was a delayed flag. But it erases a 1st down and makes it 3rd and 10 for Dallas.
Well, knowing what the play was, knowing they were going to go, you know, there to the draw. You know, I've always said it, Joe, that, you know, the quarterback has to be the one who dictates that and controls that. He's the one looking at the play clock, and he's got to know when the ball has to get off.
They fake it, throw it, pass is complete to Austin, and Dawkins made the tackle. And then celebrates right in front of the Dallas bench.
Well, this defense that couldn't get off the field throughout the 1st quarter has done a really nice job here on the last 2 possessions with the forced fumble and then getting off the field here.
Second from Matt McBride. Eddie Royal. Fair catch at the 11. So the 35-year-old, 14-year NFLer, Ryan Dawkins, made that last play. Denver has it down 3.
All right, be more explosive off the line. If they're going to give you press, give him a good set, get him on his heels, and then get going.
So that's what's happening offensively for Dallas. Meanwhile, the defense for Dallas has started out well. Orton has been off here in the 1st half. Handoff is to Moreno, and the rookie picks up 5.
That was really good advice there by wide receivers coach Ray Sherman, because that's exactly right, and he has saw that Denver defensively is starting to bring more pressure. We saw the blitz off the edge, and with that the receivers got to see it, but if they're not the one who is then running an adjustment route because of the blitz, they've got to be very sharp and very quick getting out of those breaks. Tony won't have time in the pocket to wait on.
2nd down and 5, and the pass is out of the reach of Eddie Royal. And while we came on there talking about Kyle Orton and his accuracy, still has that glove on his right hand. He has been anything but accurate here in the 1st half.
Yeah, and he said it felt better because he has had some plastic that ran along that index finger as well, because the cut was still so sensitive. It's still sensitive today. That's why he is wearing the glove, but he no longer has the plastic underneath that, and he felt that he was throwing the ball with much more accuracy during the week in practice. We haven't seen that here in this ball game. He had an opportunity on Jabbar Gaffney there in the 1st quarter and missed it, and then he's been high on a few others.
Until that is corrected.
Evidently a clock issue. So they're trying to reset.
Sustained drives because they haven't converted on 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 5. 0 for 3 on 3rd down so far. Pass is caught. Buckhalter backpedaling as he made the catch. 23-yard gain for Correll Buckhalter.
Yeah, I guess they figured Knowshon Moreno had some success with Anthony Spencer. Why not let Correll Buckhalter do the same? He comes right out. He's running the halfback option now. Spencer comes thinking that Correll Buckhalter was going to block. And he went out on the route, and then he was behind him trailing. You see Daniel Graham, he then has the job of trying to block DeMarcus Ware. They're on Orton's on his backside.
the shotgun. Orton steps into it, throws, and misses a wide open receiver. Scheffler, but a flag is down. And they're going to call offensive pass interference on Scheffler.
Pass interference, number 88, offense. 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
But it doesn't really excuse the fact that on top of this, Orton missed him by a mile.
Yeah, not just another poor throw. I don't know what the official saw there. I mean, Tony Scheffler did nothing, in my opinion, at the top of that route. You know, that is a ball that Orton typically throws very well. You know, they let the receiver get down the field about 20 good yards, and that should have been anyway pretty much pitch and catch.
6 Denver penalties. They set up a screen. There's room to run. Brooking doing everything he can, and there to make the stop. A gain of 15, and Keith Brooking, in his 12th year out of Georgia Tech, hurdled a blocker and was the one who eventually made the push out of bounds.
Heck of a play by Keith Brooking, and also good execution by Denver. Daniel Graham, we saw him earlier blocking DeMarcus Ware. Now they use him on a screen, and he's trying to get some other guys out in front. But you know, that gives you a pretty good idea of some of the athleticism for a big guy that Daniel Graham has.
Second down and 5. Shorter throws now, and the pass is complete for a first down to Buckhalter. Gain of 8.
You know, I thought it was interesting, Joe, in visiting with Josh McDaniels about Buckhalter, and that, you know, here was a guy who missed 3 full seasons because of knee injuries, and you would think that that alone would take a toll. You know, he has not had a lot of carries over the course of his career for a guy who's been in the league as long as he has. But they said there's no residual effect from what he experienced from those surgeries. And we're seeing the type of player he is, lining him up as a wide receiver, running some of those routes now.
Here's Moreno cutting back. Penalty flag on the play as Moreno gets 13.
Holding, number 62, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Wigman, the center. That's 7 penalties against Denver. And the Dallas defense, so you know, is playing their second series now without their starting strong safety, Gerald Sensabaugh, who's out with an issue in his thumb.
Casey Wigman, he's holding Jay Ratliff. And Jay Ratliff was not even going to be a part of that play, even if he had not have held him. And you're right, Joe. I mean, Denver here in this first half has really just shot themselves in the foot with as many penalties as they have had.
Makes it 1st and 20. Play action from Orton, setting up a screen. That's Buckhalter, and that's well played by the Dallas defense. Spencer out there, Brady James. A gain of only 1. And there's Sensabaugh. He's already got that thumb wrapped up. In his first year, spent his first 4 seasons with Jacksonville. So Patrick Watkins takes over at strong safety. Second and 19, and another penalty on the play as Marshall takes it to the Dallas 49. Is this penalty number 8? It is.
Tripping, number 78, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's still second down.
That's Ryan Clady, one of the best, if not the best, young left tackle in the game. And clearly a trip. And DeMarcus Ware is still shut out. Had 20 sacks last year. Part of a defense that led the league in sacks. And so far, DeMarcus Ware is still searching for his first of 09. This is Eddie Royal. And Royal brought down by Skandrick. Gain of 4. Hamlin was out there as well.
You know, they've tried that quick screen pass now a couple times, and each time that they've run it, there's been one more defender than there are blockers, and so the unblocked defenders just had a free run, and they haven't gotten anything out of it.
Dallas takes time out, hoping to get the ball back with time left to do something offensively. 3rd and a mile when we come back. We welcome you back. 2 minutes 11 seconds left. What a terrific job the league has done and will continue to do for the month of October, whether it's the league or its individual players, with pink equipment, shoes, wristbands, gloves, wristbands on the officials to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the league has gone overboard for a tremendous cause. So many within this league have been touched personally by it. Excited to wear pink. Pass is caught underneath. That's the tight end Graham, and that'll bring up 4th down. Dallas has 2 timeouts remaining. They will let the clock wind down to the 2-minute warning. A punt from the Broncos when we come back. Cowboys up by 3. First half has been this. The Broncos 104 yards of offense with 62 penalty yards. The big event was the fumble by Tony Romo on the strip of Ronaldo Hill. It led to the points, kept Denver in the game, and here's a fair catch by Creighton. And with 1:52 seconds left and 2 timeouts, Dallas takes over inside their own 10. Up by 3. Early game headliners: David Garrard, 3 touchdown passes. Steve Smith is starting to, I think, Troy, become known as one of the better young receivers in this league. And Johnny Knox has been electrifying, returning kicks and on the outside of the offense for the Bears.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. I mean, Steve Smith has separated himself in this league. I mean, when he came in, nice rookie year, was regarded as just a slot receiver. But now with Plexico Burris gone and Monty Toomer gone, you know, he has shown he can line up outside and beat some people.
Handoff to Choice. Nowhere to go. Well played defensively up front with the linebackers. Robert Ayers, 1st-round pick out of Tennessee, was the first one to get to Tashard Choice, and now depending on what happens here, Denver can take a timeout defensively. Broncos with 2 timeouts left.
Always a fine line as the quarterback as to whether you want to rush it or slow it down. Tony is slowing it down in the event that they're not able to pick up a 1st down.
Quick throw, and there's Witten's first. And he gets out of bounds. And he is knocked out right at the marker. Visa halftime coming up. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy with scores and highlights. Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats. And Tony Romo, I believe, just asked for a measurement. Minute 10 left. They don't have to move the chains hardly at all to measure this. It's right along that sideline. And short by what, 6 inches?
You know, it's a good job by Tony Romo, though, asking the official. They won't always give it to you, but I think that they knew that they were short of the 1st down, asked for the measurement, hoped to get it, and if you're granted it, then it allows you basically to use it as a timeout to figure out what you want to do as an offense, what personnel you want on the field, and how you're going to approach it after this play. You know, if you run the ball here, you can go right to another play because they have the ability now to call that in the huddle.
3rd down and inches. Handoff is to Choice. He's got it. Now Dallas. Romo looked to the sideline. A lot of time coming off the clock here while they try and unpile the bodies.
Yeah, you see Tony Romo, he's yelling at these big guys up front, trying to get them off the ball so that he can now go into the hurry up. Denver's certainly aware of that. They were in no rush to get off of the ball carrier.
A lot of time wasted here by Dallas. Romo finds Austin, who does not go to the boundary. The clock continues to run, and now with 33 seconds left, Dallas spends one of its 2 remaining timeouts. 33 seconds left. Weekdays make lunchtime your new prime time. It's Fox Sports 2. Romo drops the snap and then has to just throw it away and in the direction of Miles Austin. Well covered by Champ Bailey downfield. It's 2nd and 10 with 27 seconds left.
I don't know if Tony just took his eyes off the ball or what exactly happened here yet. You saw it that he asked for the ball. Sometimes Gerard, as we have seen over the last few years, will just snap it when he's ready. Not necessarily when Romo's ready, but that wasn't the case there.
Well, Gerard's had the yips a little bit in the shotgun in the past.
The yips.
2nd and 10. Romo, choice, and what a good play defensively by DJ Williams. 8 of only 3. Clock continues to wind. It's 3rd down.
They got 1 timeout left. I would think that they'll hurry up and take 1 shot down the field, knowing they can burn the timeout if they can get in field goal range. Josh McDaniel trying to run everybody deep now defensively.
And the Cowboys are willing to let the score read 10-7 at the half. It was 10-0. Romo turned the ball over. Sacked and stripped by Ronaldo Hill. That led to the Denver touchdown. 10-7 Dallas. The NFL on Fox will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
Kurt Menefee along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, and the Denver Broncos proving that they are indeed for real right now. A 3-point game at home against Dallas.
Rams traveling out to play the San Francisco 49ers. It's 49er punter Andy Lee hits this ball, but the return guy for the Rams, Quincy Butler, it hits him, bounces into the end zone, recovered by Scott McKillop. Touchdown, 49ers up 7-0. That is the halftime score. Rams 0, 49ers 7. Jets at New Orleans. Mark Sanchez, young rookie, having a great rookie year. Does not see Darren Sharper. He steps in front of this pass, takes it back 99 yards for the interception return for a touchdown. 10th interception return for a touchdown for Sharper. 2nd most in the NFL to Rod Woodson. Sanchez then stripped by Will Smith. Then Remy Adele recovers the ball in the end zone for the Saints. Saints 17-3 over the visiting Jets. Both teams, by the way, coming into this game 3-0. Buffalo at Miami. Trent Edwards got to get it out there a little quicker. Vontae Davis says, thank you. I got it. Taking it back. 23 yards. Touchdown. 10-0 Miami. Now it is 4th and goal. Ronnie Brown gets it in from 1 yard out. And the Dolphins looking for their first win on the season. Lead the Buffalo Bills 17-3 at the halftime score.
The Giants win in Kansas City, go to 4-0, but Eli Manning left that game with a heel injury. They are saying he'll have more tests tomorrow to determine whether or not he can play next week. Washington gets 16 second-half points to knock off the Buccaneers. The Lions will not have a 2-game win streak. They lose in Chicago. Indianapolis gets another 300-yard game from Peyton Manning, his 4th straight. Seattle loses. New England takes care of Baltimore 27-21 in that one. Tennessee 0-4 on the year. They lost 3 games all of last season. Houston knocks off the Oakland Raiders rather easily, and Cincinnati has to go to overtime, but they win over the Cleveland Browns 23-20. All right, let's get back to Dallas and Denver. Jimmy.
Well, Kurt, we talked about in the pregame show how because of the Dallas' style of play, running the football, the huge offensive line, 336 pounds a man, 2/3 of their points come in the second half. And I really think that they're in a transition period right now with the Dallas Cowboy offense. They are running the football so much, I think they're becoming a tougher football team, a more physical football team. That's the style of defense they play. That's the style of offense they play.
Well, 23 points for Denver off of takeaway points. 7 today. Excuse me. Stay out of second long. Stay out of third and long. Do not hold the ball. See the extra defender walked up, particularly on the backside. Tony Romo cannot hold the football, cannot afford to turn the ball over versus the Broncos. They have thrived on that the first 3 weeks.
All right, some of you will be getting local news. Others, come on back here. We've got more highlights for you as the Visa halftime continues.
music compliments of the band Free Reign. Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman Leonard Davis, Corey Proctor, Mark Colombo, members of that group. Fourth member of the band is guitarist Justin Chapman. And that's a single called Rise Up. And I'm guessing Justin Chapman is a terrific guitarist. He's got his work cut out for him. Well, sounds good. That's 3 offensive linemen.
Yeah, it sure does. You just, wonder when they have the time to practice. I mean, that's pretty good that they're able to pull it together and play some instruments and put something together that actually sounds listenable.
Dallas will start this second half on defense. Done a pretty good job defensively, and for the Broncos, it's been some missed receivers for Kyle Orton and a lot of penalties. Kenny McKinley on the return, and the play was made downfield by Chauncey Washington. Offensive leaders for Denver, the man in the middle, Terrell Buckhalter, left with an ankle injury. Daniel Graham 3 catches. Orton on first down underneath, hits big Brandon Marshall. And he takes it out to the Denver 41. 16-yard catch and run.
We've seen DeMarcus Ware today quite a bit on Ryan Harris. And single block, and of course Kyle Orton is getting the ball out pretty quick. They went empty backfield there, cleared everybody out, and then just ran Brandon Marshall underneath. And a good job of execution there by Denver offensively. They had a lot of success with similar plays with Marshall underneath last week against Oakland.
Ratliff cannot bring down Moreno. Igor Olshansky does, and a gain of 5.
I'll tell you what, Joe, coming into this game, I really thought that this was going to be a high-scoring affair. With Denver and the weapons that they have on the offensive side of the ball, of course, with Dallas, and then going up a defense for Denver that still had some questions. And both defensive units have really been good here this afternoon.
Knowshon Moreno split out wide to the right. Now Orton has to step up and throws. What a catch by Eddie Royal. Down at the Dallas 42. But a penalty flag is down back at the 40.
Might be a late hit on Kyle Orton, maybe Jay Ratliff.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, helmet-to-helmet contact, number 90, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Ratliff looks shooken up, and I'll tell you, this is a heck of a throw right here by Kyle Orton. To be moving to his left and have to throw this ball on a dart low, that's a great pass to Eddie Royal. And here's the hit, the helmet-to-helmet. And at one time that would be called a pretty good textbook tackle, but not anymore, because once the helmet hits the helmet of the quarterback, it's over.
12-yard completion plus 15 yards on the penalty. The ball is at the Dallas 27. Easily inside field goal range for Prater. Denver has loftier ambitions. Lamont Jordan picks up 12.
You're going to see Russ Hochstein, who's starting for Ben Hamilton at left guard. He's going to pull, and then watch here. He's going to come underneath that block, and it's pretty good execution. And good vision there by Lamont Jordan. Normally you would stay in behind that pulling guard, but he sees the hole off of it, and as soon as he saw it, he took it.
Handoff is to Moreno. And now we'll see what this Dallas defense can do as they need to try and hold Denver out of the end zone. With just over 7 minutes to play, just so you know, each side has 2 timeouts left. Second down and 6.
They came right back with the same pulling guard from the right side with Chris Cooper and ran the same play, trying to take advantage of the middle there with Jay Ratliff out of the game.
Orton rolls right, is in trouble and throws, and nearly into the arms of Ken Hamlin, who made a lunge after it. Now it's 3rd and 6, and that play was doomed from the start.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, the one thing that Kyle Orton does a great job of is not making too many poor decisions. He's just trying to get this one out, but because he was under pressure, almost didn't get it out far enough.
Big third down here. Denver just 2 for 9 on third down in this game. Timeout Broncos. We'll take a break. That important third down when we return to Denver. Three points separate the Broncos and Cowboys. 3rd and 6 Denver.
Joe, in practice on Friday, we saw them working on some things down here in the red zone to this guy right here, Brandon Marshall. We'll see if he's going to be the target here on third down.
Orton looked right the whole way, and the pass is caught, but what a play by Skandrick. Knowshon Moreno made the catch, but Skandrick brought him down immediately and saved a first down, if not a touchdown.
Good tackle there, no question. Skandrick comes up. Moreno's able to make the catch. On the other side, Brandon Marshall working against the second-year player Mike Jenkins, and he was disappointed. You know, you've got to believe you get that kind of matchup with his size at 6'4" against a second-year corner. You'd try to go after him a little bit.
28-yard try by Prater to tie it. And it's 10-10. And after our action here in Denver will be the OT presented by Lowe's. Here's a sneak peek from Kurt.
Okay, thank you guys. Coming up right after your game on the OT post-game show, a big day for the Manning brothers and a couple of hard-fought games over the AFC. We'll have all the scores, highlights, interviews, and exclusive locker room access on the OT. But now, back to Joe, Troy, and Pam.
All right, Kurt, thank you. And Tony Romo is throwing on the sideline. What he's done between the white lines hasn't been very good. He has had a rough second half. Was 2 for his last 7, 8 yards. And trying to get in sync with his receivers. You look at his numbers. Overall 18 of 29, 156 yards, but he's turned it over twice. Something he didn't do in the Monday night win over Carolina. And for Kyle Orton, it's been okay. But it's been the Denver defense sacking Tony Romo 4 times in this game. It's been the Dallas defense making plays on a third down moments ago, on a fourth down earlier. The more impressive units on each side. Booming kick. Miles Austin will take a knee. And so now, as we welcome you inside our booth, Joe and Troy, Pam down on the field, we'll see what the Dallas offense can figure out, if anything, against what's been a stifling Denver defense.
No question. The Denver defense has been exceptional. The offense for Dallas has struggled. We've done a lot of Cowboy games. We've seen Tony Romo in these types of games a lot of times where he has struggled. But late in games, it seems that invariably he gives his team a chance to win. The question is, can he do it here?
Four-man rush. Romo moves out of the pocket and hits Choice. Andre Davis out there defending for Denver, a gain of 6. Under 6 minutes to play. The Cowboys with 2 timeouts left. Denver with only 1.
Well, they're going to not necessarily a hurry-up offense, but they're going to a no-huddle offense. Certainly there's plenty of time. No need to rush.
Hand off to Choice. He picks his spot and gets a first down out to the 31. Very patient runner. He'll hit the hole hard, but when he has to hesitate for a moment to find some alley, he's willing to do it. And he just got a first down.
I tell you, I like him. I like him a lot. And he does everything very, very well. That was a great find for the Dallas Cowboys to be able to pick up a guy like him in the 4th round that has been able to contribute like he has been good for them.
first down. Romo steps up and throws, and there's Roy Williams. A big catch for the Dallas Cowboys. 15 yards to Roy Williams.
Yeah, we saw this a little bit earlier where they were not able to complete it. Same route. And a good grab there by Roy Williams. Still a ball, not an easy catch going across the middle like that. You see Champ Bailey doing everything he can to try to strip him. But a good reception by Roy Williams hauling that one in.
I'll tell you, he's still banged up from that hit from DJ Williams earlier. Took a shot to the midsection. We welcome a new audience. A 10-10 game under 5 to play. The undefeated Denver Broncos 3-0. The 2-1 Dallas Cowboys, and choice brought down in the backfield by Hagan. A loss of 2. And again, the Cowboys doing what they did a lot more of in the first half. Now they get into more of a formal huddle. They've been kind of calling the play out near the line of scrimmage until this moment right here. It's 2nd and 12.
Well, neither team has been good on 3rd down, so to get the big loss there on 1st down and force it to 2nd and long here is pretty good for Denver.
Romo's in trouble and ripped down to the ground. Vonnie Holiday.
Well, Romo has time to get rid of the football. He just can't find anybody down the field. This secondary doing a good job on this play. Holiday continues to play and comes back around to make the tackle and to get the sack. You know, a lot of people will look at that and say, you know, Romo's got to get rid of the football, which he does, but at least he didn't force something and have a turnover.
5 sacks for this Denver defense. Romo down the middle, out of the reach of Austin. And it's 4th down. We welcome in a new audience as you join us in Denver, Colorado. Good game. Under 3 to play. Cowboys jumped out to a 10-0 lead after 1 quarter. Each defense has been at times dominating. And the Denver defense, so bad a year ago, has been on a very good 4-game run. Here's Eddie Royal, tripped up as he crossed the 25. An 11-yard return, and we look back. Marion Barber pounded it in, would not go down on 2nd and goal. But this Denver defense has racked up 5 sacks. That was 1, a strip sack by Ronaldo Hill. It led to that. Knowshon Moreno, a touchdown catch, his first in the NFL. Then a red zone interception, 8th of the career. Tony Romo, picked off by Champ Bailey. 44th career interception. Broncos last time they had it tied the game on a field goal. Here's Marshall, who lunges. Picked up 8.5, maybe 9. Terrence Newman on the stop for Dallas.
I'll tell you, the one thing we have seen from Dallas defensively where they've done a good job, Brandon Marshall, you know, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's very difficult to get to the ground. You know, a lot like Terrell Owens in that way. And yet Dallas, when Marshall, not that he's caught a lot of balls, but when he has caught them like he did there against Terrence Newman, they've done a good job of getting him down and the other receivers as well.
Handoff to Moreno. He's got a first down and more. A 14-yard run by Knowshon Moreno. Takes us to the 2-minute warning. Denver in good position. Tied with Dallas at 10.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Verizon Football Zone, with live games and highlights right on your phone. Only on VCast from America's most reliable wireless network, Verizon Wireless.
This is my small business specialist, Tara. I know landscaping, but I didn't know how wireless could help my business.
I just don't know how wireless can help my business.
Tara showed me how I could keep track of my employees in the field and get more jobs done faster. I was blown away. I'm blown away.
Only Verizon Wireless has small business specialists in every store to help you do business better.
We should get you a hat.
Now buy any BlackBerry like the new Tour at our lowest prices ever and get one free.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and that means full-size deals on full-size trucks. Like Silverado, backed by America's best coverage. And with the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup, it's America's best value, too. Now, during Chevy Truck Month, get 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 total cash back on select 2009 Silverado vehicles in stock. See your local Chevy dealer.
This is the card that bought the saw.
That cut the lumber.
That built the extra space I needed to store more produce.
That she sold to me to make my menu more organic.
Introducing Ink from Chase, the card that helped make it all happen. Because it's accepted in twice as many places worldwide as American Express, with reward points worth 25% more when redeemed for air travel. Make your mark with Ink. Go to chase.com/ink. Chase what matters.
NFL Red Zone takes you from game to game live in HD. Dive in and watch every touchdown from every game.
Matt Prater getting loose on the sideline, his career-long 56 yards. That would mean taking the ball to the Dallas 38. Denver first down at their own 49. A blitz from the Cowboys. Brooking was picked up, and this one is caught by Brandon Marshall. Still on his feet. What a catch and run. Touchdown, Denver.
Joe, Terrence Newman was in a great position to make a play on this ball. Outside release by Brandon Marshall, underthrown ball, but it was high. And so Brandon Marshall able to come back then and make the play, and just some poor tackling there on the back end of that. But what a great job by Brandon Marshall. I mean, a guy who's been quite a road for him since he came into camp this year. A big game last week, got very involved in the game plan, and a big play at a big moment in this game.
Well, he's been very upset about his contract. At one point was sent out of practice by Josh McDaniels, and as you found out, really since that moment has been practicing hard, has been a model citizen for this first-year head coach, and had 3 catches for 40 yards, had no impact in this game prior to that one for 51 and a touchdown.
Josh McDaniels said that once he came back and joined the team, he's been an absolute professional. I was at practice on Friday, and other than Michael Irvin when I played, I've never seen a receiver work as hard in a practice as Brandon Marshall did last Friday afternoon.
Booming kick that goes through the uprights off the foot of Prater. And so now Dallas will have to go 80 yards with 1:46 remaining and 2 timeouts. Try and take this game into overtime.
Well, and we've talked a lot about this Denver defense, and they have done a great job. And I don't know if they're a great defense. Maybe they are. They certainly have been today, and they have been through the first 3 games prior to this one. But I do know great defenses close people out, and this is their opportunity.
Pass is tipped and still caught by Witten. Gain of 7. Dallas so far this second half, 61 total yards of offense. That's it. A blitz from Denver. Pass skips into Austin. Tony Romo has missed a lot of open receivers in this game, especially in the second half. It's 3rd and 3. Out of sync. Tony Romo dropping a snap. Not on the same page with Austin in that case. Throwing high. Missing receivers. And he's been sacked 5 times.
And the other part of it, Joe, was they didn't get anywhere close to the production out of their running game today as we have seen through the first 3 weeks.
3rd and 3. This one's broken up. And what a good play made by Jack Williams.
This is a tough spot right here, but Jack Williams plays it pretty good. You don't want to give him the inside release, but he got there, and Williams able to knock that one down.
So now it's 4th and 3.
See Tony Romo trying to get protection set.
Romo pulls it back and floats it for Miles Austin, rather Sam Hurd, who makes a catch. Hurd still going. Brought down inside the 25. They're going to mark him out at the 20, and on 4th and 3, Tony Romo just made a play.
Well, he kept it alive, and this is the playmaking ability that Tony Romo has. It looked like they had him bottled up. He comes out, and then he's got 4 orange shirts converging on him, and he throws across his body to Sam Hurd. There's just not a lot of guys who are able to make a throw like that, go into their left and lay it perfectly out in front.
So for Sam Hurd, who hadn't been a factor at all, 1 catch, 7 yards coming in. That was good for 53 yards, and on 4th and 3, now plenty of time on the clock. Dallas spends a timeout as they try to catch their breath. Each side is left with 1. Now the Cowboys are 20 yards away from tying this game. Is banged up and on the sideline for the Cowboys this series.
It looked like Tony Romo was calling 2 plays in the huddle with an indication if he shields his face, it might be some type of screen or draw play.
Here is a screen. That's Tashard Choice making tacklers miss, and Choice is down inside the 15-yard line to the 13. Clock continues to run. 7 yards. 2nd and 3. Romo throws. There's Hurd again. He makes the catch. They keep the clock winding. It's a first down for Dallas with 25 seconds, 26 left on the clock. And Dallas spends their final timeout. There's Roy Williams, supposed to be the big weapon for the Dallas Cowboys, banged up on the sideline. Tonight on Fox, don't miss the most anticipated night on television with all new episodes of The Simpsons, our newest hit, The Cleveland Show, Family Guy, and American Dad. Animation Domination is all new tonight, starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
You've got to be real careful if you're Tony Romo. You can't take a sack here. And if the ball is caught, and he doesn't score, and he's in play, and the clock is running. I mean, they've got to get to the line and clock it as soon as possible, and if that happens, that may only leave them one play left.
First and goal from the 8.
I would think what they're going to try to do is make sure that any throw that they make is into the end zone or on the sideline where they can get out of bounds.
Romo steps up, throws, hits Creighton. Clock continues to wind. 20 seconds left. Ball is at the 2. Gain of 5.
Yeah, so Tony right now is calling a play. Does not look like he's going to clock it, or maybe he is.
That'll bring up 3rd and goal. Tony Romo has never gone back-to-back starts in the NFL without a touchdown pass. He didn't have a touchdown pass last Monday night against Carolina. Also didn't turn it over. He's turned it over twice in this game.
You know, one thing Dallas has shown this year is a quarterback draw from the gun. Now, if you are brave enough to call that, you got to score. But if they don't score here, I could see it maybe coming on 4th down.
Romo throws and broken up, incomplete for Sam Hurd. Champ Bailey, the 8-time Pro Bowler, out there. It's 4th down.
Well, I tell you, they've been challenging Champ Bailey a lot. You know, the game on the line here, and they're still throwing it in his direction. You know, if that ball was down, they had a chance. They had a chance to Hurd.
Romo throws, incomplete. Denver takes over.
I'm really surprised. Champ Bailey gave the inside breaking route twice to Sam Hurd, and the Cowboys failed to hit it. Typically, a corner will play inside technique, not give the slant. Champ gives it to him, but he's able to get his hand on the ball to knock it down.
You notice it from the start, Troy. 16 times the Cowboys threw at Champ Bailey. He has an interception in this game, broke up that play, and the Broncos are going to start 4-0.
Yeah, and with the interception earlier in the game, and I think he has shown the league why you don't throw at Champ Bailey.
Josh McDaniels, the 33-year-old first-year head coach, is now 4-0. And this Denver defense made another statement here today. Thumbs up from McDaniels. Kyle Orton, enough today. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap up after this. The Denver defense has allowed only 26 points in the first 4 games. Our Domino's delivers leaderboard. Kyle Orton, 2 touchdown passes. Knowshon Moreno, the rookie, with a touchdown catch. And Brandon Marshall, 91 yards. 51 of them coming on the touchdown catch, which was the difference in the game. 5 sacks today for the Denver defense, 2 takeaways, and no points allowed in the last 3 quarters. Brandon Marshall took it in, celebrated with Kyle Orton after. Denver wins it. The OT presented by Lowe's after this.
It's week 4 in the NFL, and what a day.
3rd and goal. Cutler dives into the end zone. How about that?
Eli and Peyton started undefeated, but how did the Manning brothers finish up? Did the 49ers bounce back from their Brett Favre nightmare? And who pulled off today's biggest upset? Jim Zorn is on the hot seat. Is it getting even hotter in Washington? We'll check out Mark Sanchez versus Drew Brees, and Tom Brady versus Ray Lewis. And finally, who got it done in Denver? Or should I say, how about them Cowboys? You know what? Let's have a professional do that.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
The OT, presented by Lowe's, starts right now.
It's the OT, presented by Lowe's. Let's build something together.
And if Jimmy's speech doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. Welcome to the OT, presented by Lowe's. Let's build something together. Howdy, gang. I'm Kurt Menefee, joined as always by Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy as we get rolling here through Week 4.
All right, Giants at Kansas City. Eli Manning having a great year. Injured a heel on his right foot. Did not go out of the game. Stayed in through this little screen pass out to Akeem Nicks. He takes it down 54 yards for the touchdown. There it goes. Nice job. I'll tell you, these Giants awfully impressive. Going to 4-0 on the year. They win 27-16 over Kansas City. Tampa Bay at Washington. Josh Johnson. There he is getting his first start. First quarter, he comes out, play action, hold the linebackers. Man-to-man on the outside. Finds Bryant for the touchdown. It's 7-0 at that point, Tampa Bay, but back comes Campbell. Beautiful throw. Santana Moss, 59-yard touchdown. Washington 16-13 over the Tampa Bay Bucks. Detroit at Chicago. Jay Cutler, man-to-man coverage, flushed out of the pocket, Howie. Man-man, nobody's responsible for the quarterback. He goes up, you know, a la John Elway. It's 7-all, Detroit and Chicago. Then Johnny Knox, opening kickoff of the second half. Up inside, bounce to the outside, back to the inside, back to the outside, and here we go, 102-yard kickoff return, touchdown, 28-21 Bears over the Lions. It's 48-24, though, Bears win. Then Seattle at Indianapolis, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, 5-yard strike, 14-0, all Colts and Manning. And then Manning to Austin Collie, corner of the end zone, his first touchdown of his young career. Manning's 342nd, 34-17, Colts win. Baltimore at New England, the game that we all picked the Ravens to win. We forgot about Tom Brady. It's Terrell Suggs, though. He forces Brady to fumble. Don Edwards comes inside, picks up the fumble in the end zone for the touchdown, 17-14. New England over the Ravens. Third quarter, Brady back. Blitz, underthrown. This is a great throw because the receiver has the adjustment. Moss does it. 24-14 New England. And then fourth down, Joe Flacco throwing to Mark Clayton for the first down. He drops it, 27-21. New England beats the Ravens. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Maurice Jones-Drew leads the way up inside, bounces to the outside, 9-yard touchdown run, 10-0 Jacksonville. Tennessee coming into this game 0-3. They leave 0-4. Garrard back. Mike Sims-Walker, touchdown, 37-17. Jacksonville takes care of visiting Tennessee. Oakland at Houston, perhaps one of the well, let's say it. This might be the worst team in all of football. Oakland Raiders. But Matt Schaub, the Slayton guy out of West Virginia, 29-6, though. Houston takes care of Oakland. Cincinnati at Cleveland, 4th and 11. Carson Palmer. You would not expect this, would you? Everybody dropping off in man. Nobody covered the quarterback. Palmer gets the first down later in that drive. Sean Graham makes this 31-yard field goal in overtime, and it's 23-20. Cincinnati takes care of Cleveland. Buffalo at Miami. Dolphins won the AFC East last year. Coming into this game, 0-3. Trent Edwards picked off by Vontae Davis. 23-yard interception return for the touchdown. 38-10, Miami beats Buffalo. Jets and the Saints, two undefeated teams. Rookie quarterback Sanchez picked off by Darren Sharper. 10th interception return for a touchdown for him. Only one, he's only two behind. You know who? Rod Woodson in Pittsburgh, 24-10. Saints stay undefeated. Dallas at Denver. Marion Barber has a thigh injury. Starts in this football game. Kyle Orton, Brandon Marshall wanted out. Brandon Marshall held out. He was suspended in preseason. But today, the big catch he made, this is it. 51-yard touchdown. Denver goes on top of Dallas, 17-10. And then fourth down, Romo back. Romo scrambling, moving outside, then connects. 53-yard gain to Sam Hurd. Fourth now, later on in this drive. Out of bounds, Sam. Romo now, fourth down, back. They'd already won. They ran a slant earlier. This time on Champ Bailey, they came back again. Why he didn't go in and out, I don't know. Denver beats the Cowboys 17-10. St. Louis at San Francisco, and man, what a football team we're seeing. Vernon Davis, the tight end, for the 49ers, 13-yard reception, touchdown, 14-0 San Francisco. And then Kyle Orton pass intended for Keenan Burton, picked off by Patrick Willis, 23-yard touchdown run. 49ers, hey, hello, NFL. 49ers 35-0 over the St. Louis Rams.
All right, we will get back to that shutout victory by the 49ers to keep them in first place in the NFC West. Plus, Denver with a late win, a big win to remain undefeated over the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about all that in just a moment. But right now, Jimmy, I want to go back to New Orleans remaining undefeated and really giving Mark Sanchez his first real taste of the NFL. Got a chance to talk to our Pam Oliver afterwards about the win.
Okay, thanks a lot. You're doing it again, man. You moved to Denver, same old, same old. Tell me what that kind of effort took.
That's who we are. I'm serious. That is who we are. That's how we practice. We have discipline. We play for one another. We play with emotion, and we give everything that we got to the last whistle. That's who the Denver Broncos are. So if you're not used to it, get used to it.
I heard you talking about that when you gathered everybody up for a little pep talk, that this defense doesn't need to be good, it needs to be great.
Yes, and that's what we're shooting. It's an uphill battle. We know we have some things to improve, but as long as we continue to give effort, play for one another, and our assignment sound, we have a great chance of being a good defense, and that's all we're striving to be.
And finally, I saw Coach come and whisper something in your ear. Can you share?
He just told me, way to fight. Way to fight, way to not give up, and way to continue to push on. And that's what me and my teammates did tonight, and hallelujah.